Exercise. EVS Notes. Chapter 3 Natural Resources, Renewable and Non-Renewable. Exercise. Short answer questions. What are the ecological uses of forest? Forests have a lot to offer to human beings. Every component of a tree, including leaves, branches, stem, bark, fruits, seeds, and root, are useful. Forests provide wood, timber, raw materials, vegetables, and fruits, which have significant economic value. The timber is used in construction and making furniture. Wood is also essential in the production of paper. The rubber extracted from trees is used to make several products. Even green waste has economic significance. The indirect economic benefits consist of rendering the climate that increases the relative humidity of the atmosphere, and therefore the precipitation increases by the forest. Sustainable feeding of spring water supply and reduction in violent floods are regulated by the forest and also makes the flow of the water in the river continuous. This forest also channels the land by protecting it from the evil of erosion and climate axis that in the end performs as a valuable and more expressible service that generates revenue than those rendered by the defense force of the country. Various worms, insects, and various miniature organisms feed on the humans and the tunnel in the soil, thus making it suitable as a portion of food for the plants. Forests also act as a natural defense against aerial attack by covering the entire land with its canopies. Write a short note on land degradation. Because of increase in population, the demands for arable land for producing food and fuel wood is also increasing. Hence, there is more and more pressure on the limited land resources, which are being depleted due to overexploitation. Soil erosion, waterlogging, salinization, and contamination of the soil with industrial wastes, like fly ash, press mud, or heavy metals all cause degradation of land. What are the major causes of deforestation? The major causes of deforestation are: shifting cultivation. There are an estimated 300 million people living as shifting cultivators who practice slash and burn agriculture. In India, we have this practice in the northeast and to some extent in Andhra Pradesh, Bihar and MP, which contribute to nearly half of the forest clearing annually. Fuel requirements. Increasing demands for fuel wood by the growing population in India alone has shot up to 300 to 500 million tons in 2001 as compared to just 65 million tons during independence, thereby increasing the pressure on forests. Raw materials for industrial use, wood for making boxes, furniture, railway sleepers, plywood, matchboxes, pulp for paper industry, etc. have exerted tremendous pressure on forests. Plywood is in great demand for packing tea, while fire tree wood is exploited greatly for packing apples. Development projects. Massive destruction of forests occur for various development projects like hydroelectric projects, big dams, road construction, and mining. Growing food needs. In developing countries, this is the main reason for deforestation. To meet the demands of a rapidly growing population, agricultural lands and settlements are created permanently by clearing forests. Overgrazing. The poor in the tropics mainly rely on wood as a source of fuel, leading to loss of tree cover, and the cleared lands are turned into grazing lands. Overgrazing by cattle leads to further degradation of these lands. How does building dams impact the environment? Various dams, which are constructed in several parts of the country, are likely to both directly and indirectly impact vegetation, forestry, and lead to widespread human rights abuses. The large hydroelectric dams are considered to be an equivalent to social and economic development. The construction of hydroelectric power plants associated with the dams are usually accomplished in off-site areas, which are away from the cities. These places are mostly inhabited by tribal communities who suffer land fragmentation and ecosystem destruction due to construction of these dams. List the unique characteristics of water as a resource. UN's water is characterized by certain unique features which make it a marvelous resource. These are as follows. It exists as a liquid over a wide range of temperature, i.e., from 0 to 100 degrees Celsius. It has the highest specific heat, due to which it warms up and cools down very slowly without causing fluctuations in temperature, thereby protecting the aquatic life. It has high latent heat of vaporization. Hence, it takes huge amount of energy for getting vaporized. That is why it produces a cooling effect as it evaporates. It is an excellent solvent for several nutrients. Thus, it can serve as a very good carrier of nutrients, including oxygen, which are essential for life. It can also easily dissolve various pollutants and become a carrier of pathogenic microorganisms. Due to high surface tension and cohesion, it can easily rise through great heights, through tree trunks even in the tallest of the trees like sequoia. It has an anomalous expansion behavior, i.e., as it freezes it expands instead of contracting and thus becomes lighter. Why is the depletion of ozone shield significant? Uncertain pollutants diffusing gradually into the stratosphere from the lower atmosphere have damaging effects on the ozone layer. In particular, chlorine atoms catalyze the breakdown of ozone. A single chlorine atom can break down millions of molecules of ozone, upsetting the natural ozone balance. Nitrogen oxide produced by high-altitude aircraft, such as the supersonic transports, nitrogen fertilizers, and automobile exhaust, can break down ozone in a manner similar to chlorine.